The kingdom is what the Bible is all about. That was God's plan from the beginning. Because in the beginning, He planted a garden eastward in Eden. Garden meaning bride, eastward meaning first, Eden meaning pleasure. Come on. There was one river that fed 4 rivers. That's not natural. That's natural. That is supernatural. So what we have here in the garden again, the river was open, and there's the river of life. Come on. And now the tree of life is on both sides of the river, and the road is right. It's not a street that we're going to walk on gold. Come on. It's a highway of holiness. He's the way, the truth. And this all takes us to life. Come on, man. We're so stuck on gold. Life is so much more worth than gold. And I think it's time that we just get our hearts back and step into this wonderful kingdom. How do you describe the kingdom of God? You know, so many times I read it and I thought, when is this going to be? It has been. The kingdom has come. It's for us to wake up to righteousness. Righteousness, the scepter of His kingdom. Wake up out of this drowsiness that Satan has deceived us. And He's left us to a place where, come on, guys, God loves you. And He's prepared the kingdom for you. You know what? Before you were born, it's not your doing, it's your receiving. The only thing you can do for God is embrace what He has done for you. Revelation and Genesis, both books, given by visions. Genesis 2,500 years after Adam. Revelation, just at the end of the day of vengeance and the inauguration of the church and the kingdom, John says, I, your brother, in tribulation and the kingdom. He was their brother and companion in the tribulation. So please don't wait for tribulation. It's not coming to us. Most of the tribulation we do now is things that we cause ourselves, and the governments that are just in such a fallen state that they can't help themselves. We just need God. We need to step into the day of God. So here, John actually announces that I'm stepping from tribulation, meaning that 40-year period after the cross, and he says, into the kingdom. So the kingdom has finally come. He was the only apostle yet alive. The apostles, the foundation stones of the New Jerusalem. But as he was walking, he heard a voice behind him, and he turned around. And as he turned around, there was the candlesticks, which is the menorah, which is actually a symbol of the tree of life. Oh, my word. But he had the stars in his hands. And the stars, the flames, were not on the candlesticks. And he said, John, write to the 7 churches. What he's actually doing, he is announcing that the church is now going to be born. The incubation period is now over. Because in Revelation 4, he said a door was open in heaven, and he describes everything in heaven. What I love the most is the rainbow around the throne. Oh, my word, it just brings the whole Bible into one. But what happens there, there's the menorah, the candlestick again, and now the flames are on it. So the church is born. So what he does, you know what, if you buy anything, you always get a manual with it that tells you how it works. So God is not going to just leave us and not tell us how it works. And I know that he was just, it was so awesome. He said, write to the 7 churches. And what he wrote to those 7 churches is actually a manual for church. And you know, if you look at every letter to every church, to he that overcomes, tree of life, to he that overcomes, he can drink of the water of life. It's going to have a white stone. It's going to be a pillar. Come on. If you read it, it's like the overcomers, their reward will now be kingdom, 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 kingdom. But he starts every letter like this. He says, I'm the one with the hair. I'm the one with the girdle. I'm the one with the eyes. Come on. He wants the churches to understand who he is, what he is, and that he is the victorious Lord. Because what John saw there when he looked back, he saw the Son of Man, and he calls it, he saw the Son of Man between the candlesticks. Listen, please get it. Between the candlesticks, where people are really the church, the Spirit of God is always there. And he described him as the Son of Man. But if you look at the description and you go to Daniel 7, you'll see the Ancient of Days is described the exact same way. Voila. A child is born, a son is given, and his name is Everlasting Father. You know what? We have to get away from this idea that Jesus that came to earth is, he was this nice figure. I mean, there's so many doctrines out now again that, Jesus was just a prophet. He was just, no. He was God manifested in the flesh. Do you understand that God loves you so much? He died for you so that you can live. A body was prepared, and he offered up that body. He said, not my will. And he took all the temptations that you can ever think of. And when he took the temptations in the desert, oh, come on, guys, we have got no idea what it is. He was tempted. He said, let these stones be made bread. The law was a system of stones. He actually said to Jesus, you don't have to die, just let the law go on. Because the next minute he took him to the temple and to Jerusalem. He took him on the highest point. He said, cast yourself away from it. God will see that you won't get hurt. He said, get behind me, Satan. He went to the third point of temptation. He took him to a high mountain. Please get it. He showed him the kingdoms of the world. When we saw the statue in Daniel, he said a little rock was carved without man's hands. It was going to hit that statue. And then this rock is going to come a big mountain that's going to fill all the earth. Now Satan takes Jesus to the biggest mountain. He says, oh, I'm showing you all the kingdoms of the world. Just don't die. Just don't be the rock. But Jesus said to Peter, I will build my house on this rock. Was Peter the rock? No. It was when man builds his house on the rock, the storms will come and it will not take him. So he said to Peter, your name is Peter, and on this rock I'll build my church, because Peter had the revelation of who the Christ is. You are the Son of the living God. Come on. That is the doctrine of Christ. If you don't have the doctrine of Christ, you are none of his. So for people to say, oh no, Jesus was just a prophet. The Bible actually describes that. It says the fool says in his heart, there is no God. Because people take God as idols, and they worship everything, and you know what is amazing? How people can read so much rubbish books, but they don't know the Word. There's spirit and life in the Word, and God wants you to understand it, and God wants you to taste and see that it's good. So if we go into the letters, please get this. God introduces him first to all the people and say, I'm the one with the eyes. I'm the one. Come on, man. He's the victorious one. He says in John 16, he says, don't let your heart be troubled. I have overcome the world. Now, what he's actually teaching the church there is, I want you to be an overcomer. But just before he says to everyone, be an overcomer, he says, if you have an ear to hear, hear what the Spirit says.